So for the past couple of days, we have been hearing a lot of rumors and speculation and leaks about a lot of the biggest movies in the world. Of course, I did speak about this in a previous video, which may or may not actually come out before this one. I have no idea which one I'm going to post first, but I do talk about how the MCU Spider-Man 4 will reportedly start filming in 2024, or more specifically, towards the end of 2024. And of course, we actually got a fair bit of more Spider-Man news that I think was a positive update that we needed for quite a while. I believe it was early 2022, Amy Pascal did actually hint that we would be getting a Miles Morales solo movie. Now, I believe she actually did this in an interview talking about the MCU Spider-Man. So I think everyone and their dad kind of thought that this meant we were probably going to be getting a MCU Miles Morales movie. But more recent news and leaks that we've just got actually do confirm that we will be getting a Miles Morales solo movie still, but it will not actually be set in the MCU, more that it will be set in Sony's universe. So the report is saying that the live-action Miles Morales film will be set in Sony's universe. The live-action Miles Morales Spider-Man film will reportedly be set in Sony's universe and not the MCU. Earlier this year, producer Amy Pascal confirmed that both Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen projects were in development. The character will now join Venom, Morbius, and Madam Web in their own franchise outside the main MCU. Now, of course, I, like most people, have been pretty skeptical on the Sonyverse. On one hand, I thought Venom was actually a really terrific movie, and I thought it was a really awesome first step towards this new universe. Not just that, I feel like we've seen the same Venom, so many times now, and I think one of the issues with Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire was that the Venom we kind of got in that, more so the black symbiote, I should say, in that, was very basic from the comics. There wasn't exactly anything too different. Again, the only thing really different from both of them is that the Venom actor, Topher Grace, just really didn't suit the role at all. They also made it more of a suit rather than an actual symbiote. But look, it was pretty much kind of basic towards the comics. There wasn't a lot of changes. But then when the Venom movie came around, they went with a really comedic kind of route with it, also making him way more of an anti-hero to what we're, of course, used to. And I think it actually really worked well. Of course, unfortunately, they doubled this with Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which I thought was a terrible movie. I think most of you guys know, in my opinion, that is one of, if not the worst superhero movies I've ever seen. Morbius would also follow, and that is also a terrible movie. But I know a lot of people say it's the worst one ever. Believe it or not, I'm not even too sure, I'm pretty sure this is an unpopular opinion, but I actually like the Morbius movie more than I like Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Then, of course, after all that, we know the Kraven movie's coming, which looks pretty basic and looks like just more of an anti-hero twist on, what we're used to with Kraven. And then, of course, we know the Madam Web movie's coming, which I think actually looks pretty cool. I think there's a lot of awesome things they look like they're doing there. And hey, they hired Sydney Sweeney to play Julia Carpenter, who is Spider-Woman. And if you guys didn't know, Sydney Sweeney is basically my wife. And there's two really awesome things about Sydney Sweeney, and that is, of course, her beautiful hair and her beautiful face. I definitely think you guys were probably thinking I was going to say her watermelons, but they were also very beautiful as well. Again, now, with all that being said, Sony looks like they want to keep expanding this. We know Venom 3 is officially coming after these movies, and we now know that Miles Morales is coming. Look, I actually think this is, in my opinion, I think this is a bad idea. I don't like the fact, first of all, I don't think Miles Morales really needs a solo movie. I'll start off by saying that. I think Miles Morales technically already has these solo movies with the Into the Spider-Verse films, as well as the really awesome video games that are Marvel Spider-Man 2 and the spin-off of Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. I really didn't think we needed a Miles Morales movie, but if we did get a Miles Morales movie. I always thought having him in the MCU would have been for the best. I think we've really seen the normal standard Miles Morales story now with, of course, the video game, and then they've done the multiverse side of things with the Spider-Verse movies. I really thought, alright, considering we've already seen, normal Spider-Man Miles Morales in today's media, let's get that, but let's get him meshing with the Avengers and meshing with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, so it would keep a lot of things different. Instead, it looks like they're going for a very basic, traditional solo movie, which we've technically, again, already gotten with the video games. We don't really need this. I don't think it's going to stand out, and also, I think this is just because Sony want to have a Spider-Man for their own universe. I just think this is such a bad idea, having him for the Sony Spider-Verse. I really thought if they're going to do a Spider-Man for this universe, Andrew Garfield is literally sitting right there. Like, other than Tick Tick Boom and Hacksaw Ridge, Andrew Garfield really hasn't done, I don't think, a whole lot since his Spider-Man movies. And don't get me wrong, Hacksaw Ridge is one of the greatest movies I have ever seen. But goddamn, the guy is just sitting there ready to play Spider-Man again. Not that he's my favorite Spider-Man or anything, as I've been very vocal that I think Tobey is much better, and I think most people would agree with that. But look, there is still a very big fan base out there for Andrew Garfield, and I don't understand why not just introduce him in the Venom movies and have him as the Spider-Man for the universe. I don't see why they are doing this Miles Morales solo movie. The only thing is, I think they just know, even if it doesn't do well, critically, which it probably won't, it'll probably be a pretty basic story. The realistic thing is that they know they've got Miles Morales, to themselves. They know to please the fans, they've got to share Spider-Man with the MCU and Marvel. But they really know that right now, Miles Morales, with their Spider-Man animated movies and with the video games, they've got him 100% pretty much to themselves. So in the reality of that is they're basically saying, well, he's 100% our character, he's Spider-Man, we don't have to share him with Marvel, let's make him the face of our universe, which, again, is interesting, but I don't know. I just don't think you're going to be able to freshen and make a new, fresh take of this Miles Morales character in this Sony universe. It's just going to be the basic story that we've seen in the comic books for the last 15 years, that we've seen in the games. Again, it's probably not going to have a unique take on it like the Spider-Verse movies does. The only unique thing they can probably spin is him interacting with Venom and stuff like that. But again, in saying that, we just saw Miles Morales interact and battle Venom in the new Spider-Man game. So it's like, again, how do you make this a new, fresh idea? Well, they really can't do a whole lot. They should have let him go. I think letting him go to the MCU was a much better idea. If you're going to do a solo movie, the MCU would distinctively make it more, I think, fresh, a fresh take, having him interact with Tom Holland Spider-Man, having him interact with maybe the Avengers in future movies, interacting with maybe other MCU characters like Daredevil. Again, it seems like it's going to be a boring standalone story. Spider-Gwen movie is also in development. Will I be making a video on that? Probably not. I don't know why they're making a Spider-Gwen movie again. They already got that for the Into the Spider-Verse movies. Yeah, it just, I don't know. I don't really like some of these ideas. And look, weirdly enough, out of all the upcoming, I think, Sony-verse movies, there's 5 or 6 confirmed. I'm definitely most excited for Madam Web. Again, I think there's going to be a lot of really cool and fresh ideas in that movie. Plus, we're getting a completely different Spider-Girl, other than Gwen Stacy, that we've never seen in live action or really anything before other than the comics, and she's played by my future wife. Fuck, that sounds absolutely awesome. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys think a Miles Morales solo movie will be a good idea, or do you guys not? Again, I'd very much like to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my IRL/Flowing channel and my sports channels. Links for them will be in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.